I guess you love movies. I do too. Hi guys, and welcome back to another movie review. Today we've got a special movie review for you guys. As Halloween's coming up, I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to review a few Halloween films, a few horror films, classics that I haven't seen before, and just give you my thoughts on them, what I thought watching them for the first time. And one of the Halloween classics that I haven't seen, that a lot of people have said is great, is the original Carrie from 1976. Not the remake with Chloe Grace Moretz, but the original film. And yesterday I watched it, and I'm here today to talk to you and tell you what I thought. So, Carrie was made in 1976, as I said. It stars Sissy Spacek, Pippa Laurie, Nancy Allen, and a very young John Travolta, and is directed by Brian De Palma, and is about a socially awkward and not very popular girl called Carrie White, who at school is ridiculed by all of the popular girls, and at home is physically and emotionally abused by her, to put it mildly, insane and very religiously fanatical mother, played by Pippa Laurie. So from both sides she's being pushed to her limits. And just to top it off, she's also experiencing the beginnings of her telekinetic powers, the ability to move objects with her mind. This emotional strain is causing her to start using this power. And when she goes to her senior prom, the two sides push her to beyond her limits, and well, shit gets real, and yeah, some telekinesis happens. I think you all know, everybody knows about the Carrie climax. So, what did I think of Carrie? Well, I found it to be a very, very good film, and I thought the main thing that made this film so good was Sissy Spacek's performance as Carrie White. I thought she was fantastic. It would have been so easy to overact this role. It's bordering on it in some scenes, but overall I think that she does a really, really good job. Sissy Spacek's a very interesting actress. Her eyes have got so much expression, and I think that adds so much, especially to the final scenes where she's completely lost her shit. Like she's like, I'm gonna kill some people. I don't give a shit anymore. Her eyes are they're so creepy, and the way she uses her eyes and the way she uses them for expression, I think is her biggest asset, and she definitely uses that very, very well in Carrie and as the character of Carrie. Pippa Laurie as the mother is so good. I mean, she's insane. She's the worst mother ever. Like, in all of cinema, there's no mother worse. I mean, seriously. She beats her child, she throws her in a cupboard, she thinks she's been inhabited by the devil, she tries to kill her. I mean, seriously? This woman's nuts. Seriously though, she's so good in the film, she's brilliant. Nancy Allen, who plays the main sort of bully in the film that sets up the prank at the prom. She is a horrific person. I literally hated her so much. Nancy Allen was also in another one of De Palma's films called Blowout, which also stars John Travolta. Is very underrated. Very good film. John Travolta was also in the film, but he doesn't have a big role. He's the boyfriend of Nancy Allen's character. And all of the supporting cast, the teacher that's really supportive, and the only person that she's really the only mother figure that Carrie has in her life. She cares very much about her, and she's very good in the film. One of the popular girls that feels sorry for Carrie, and is one of the only reasons she goes to the prom. She's very good as well. All of the performances are very good. The film's very well directed. De Palma, I like him as a director a lot. Obviously he's done Scarface and Blowout, as I explained. He does use a lot of his similar techniques that he uses, especially in Blowout. He uses the sort of forced perspective shot where he has someone very close to the frame and then people very far away from it, and it blurs at the edges. He uses that a lot in Blowout. The final scene in Blowout, he uses that. And he uses it significant amounts in Carrie as well. He uses slow motion very well. I think the people in the 70s used slow motion in an exceptional way. Zack Snyder seems to have an obsession with slow motion and completely pointless slow motion. But when you look at films by De Palma, Scorsese, especially Scorsese, how he uses them in Raging Bull and Taxi Driver as a forced perspective, it's the same in De Palma's film, in Carrie, how he sort of shows the euphoria of certain moments and the pure, hatred of certain moments as well, using slow motion. I thought that was very, very good. Yes, I also thought that how it looked on the abusive relationships and the bullying in the film, and it was good with the subject matter, and it really showed how destructive bullying is, and how it can really just make a person feel completely worthless. And if you're going to bully someone, don't bully someone with telekinetic powers, because you're probably going to die. Also, the climax of the film, which everyone knows about. Everyone knows about the Carrie climax. It's a phenomenal act of the movie. It's brilliant. As I said about Sissy Spacek, in all of that part, her eyes and her expression is really, really good. As I said, good use of editing, good use of slow motion in that scene. I just really like the climax a lot. It's definitely the best part of the movie. Just very, very good. There's only a few negatives really I have with the film, and they're probably little nitpicks really. The main one is the fact that the first two acts are really building. They're just building acts. Really, there's not really any horror in it. Like, it's a horror movie that all the horror comes in the third act and none of the horror comes in the first two. It's all build up to the third act. The first two acts are literally just letting you know everything about her life, her situation, all of the characters, setting up all of their arcs. And really, it's all set up for the prom. The prom is the movie. The movie comes to its head and explodes in that scene, in that third act. So you're not going to get a lot of scares or a lot of dramatic moments or anything in the first two acts. It's mainly in the third act where everything just shit hits the fan and it goes crazy. And my only other little nitpick is there's a character called Tommy Ross in the film who takes Carrie to the prom, is forced to take her to the prom by her girlfriend who feels sorry for Carrie. He gets hit on the head by a bucket during the prank where she gets blood poured over her. During that scene, the final scenes, you see him knocked out, you see him on the floor, you see people around him, and then you don't see him again for the rest of the movie, and you don't see him again after, the movie finishes and you don't see him again. They don't explain whether he died during that scene by getting hit by a bucket on the head. I don't think that'd be pretty stupid if that was the case. And they don't really finish his arc or anything. He just gets hit on the head and that's kind of it. It's, he isn't really finished off very well. I don't think that they, I don't know what happened to him. That's the main thing. I just want to know what happened to the guy. I just don't know. There's also a scene which is a tiny, ridiculous nitpick, which is when Carrie comes back from the prom. There's a really good shot as well where she's walking up the stairs of the house and there's all these lights, the sort of glowing orange lights. It's really, really good. But she comes into the house and she looks around and there's like 1,000,000 candles. Like, her mother's like lit all these candles. Like, where the hell did she get these candles? Like, there must be hundreds of candles. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it's just a tiny nitpick, but it just made me laugh when I saw it. It took me out of the moment for a second. I was like, where did she get all these candles from? Oh, that is a tiny nitpick, but I just thought of that when I saw that scene. So there you go, guys. That's what I thought of Carrie. I thought it was a very good film. I thought that it was a very good psychological thriller horror film. Great performances, great direction, and a climax that is truly iconic and deserves that status. Overall, I would give Carrie 9 out of 10. I think it's a very, very good film. I don't think it's quite perfect, and I think that the fact that the ending is really everything that the movie is kind of a problem, but, that's just the way the movie is structured. And I think Carrie is a very, very good film, and if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it to anyone that enjoys horror films and films in general. So there you go, that's my review of Carrie. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, drop your comments down in the section below. What's your favourite Brian De Palma movie? What's your favourite horror film of all time, maybe? Down in the comment section below. Whatever you want to write constructive, please. no abuse, that would be nice. Drop it down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, hopefully, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.